Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword with you. I have one more new Sitivien, and I believe that's how you pronounce it, for review and for your viewing pleasure, let's hope. So this comes from Amazon, $27.99 less 5% with a little coupon they give you. So we're coming in around $26.50, something like that. I don't know. Got it recently along with the ST110. So they're being offered, as far as I know, only on Amazon. You might be able to get them at some of the overseas stores like AliExpress, DHgate, etc., etc. This one's a little different than the ST115. This is the ST110. And this is a crossbar lock, also known in other circles as an axis lock. That's Benchmade's name for it, that they've held a patent on for many years. Now that that patent is gone, not that it kept people from copying it in the past, or other manufacturers, that is, we now have it on many new knives, not the least of which are the Hogue series with the Able lock. Similar setup. You have a bar, blocks, or I should say locks, the tang of the blade. You pull it back past the tang, and the blade releases. This one's got just a little bit of lock stick, but for the money, I can tolerate that. No jimping on the top. Double thumb studs on this one. The ST115 that I'll show you again in a minute was a liner lock. I tend to like this one a little better. It's a lighter knife. You do have a choil in the blade. You can kind of put your finger in sideways without getting nicked. You do need to watch that heel of the blade, the edge, though. But it does give you a good sharpening choil if you don't use it for your finger. Got a nice swedge at the top. Pretty good blade stock. We'll measure it up in a moment. Nicely sculpted. Actually, micarta. It's looking like a linen micarta. One thing that was odd when it came through was that one side was black and the other side was kind of a darkish gray, so I used a little vegetable oil, little cooking oil. You can use mineral oil. Some people say the vegetable oil can cause some rot or, decay over time. I'm not sure. However, if you use it long enough, the oils from your skin are going to darken down micarta anyway. So yes, it's micarta for that money and not G10, which is kind of cool. Got a high grind, flat, drop point blade, pretty good sized knife. So let's see, excuse me, frog in the throat. Let's see what we're dealing with here. We got 8 1/4 overall, a little smaller than the ST115. And yet, if you go all the way to the handle, we got 3 3/4 inches on the blade. And we got a cutting edge of gonna call it 3.3. Okay. What do we have for the blade? If I can grab it right up past the handle before the thumb studs, 3.3 millimeters. Pretty good blade stock. I think that was similar to the other one. And 0.57 on the handle thickness in inches. Weight, while the other one was nearly 7 ounces, as I recall, the ST115, let's see what we got for the ST110. And it is 4.35. Much more reasonable and not a bad weight for the size of the knife. And they did manage to put a lot of blade into the handle. Let's see what we've got. Absolutely. Look at that. Blade to handle ratio, quite nice. Deep carry clip. They used the dome head screws, and it is mounted up on a platform on the handle. It's not recessed, so if you don't mind, it does seem to have a pretty high rise there on the clip. Still deep carry, very close to the end. I would call it deep carry. Bright clip. Sometimes on the bright clips I take a little Scotch Brite and kind of satin them out. You can do that, or mod it in any way you want for the money. As long as you don't pay anything to have it modded, you're still going to be in a reasonable price range. Action, I find, is really nice, whether you say for the money or not. Thumb studs are nice. They have kind of a little bit of a pyramid shape to them, but no points on the ends. They're aggressive enough to where your thumb will pick them up every time. However, you could use that method. Pulling back on the lock bar. As long as it doesn't bounce, you're good to go. And wide open construction. 2 barrel spacers. I think it's a nice knife. I mean, for 27 bucks, I think it's as good or possibly better than any Ganzo or other knife in that price range. It's nicely done, nicely executed. As I said, the only little problem I could find is a tiny bit of lock stick, which I believe over time, I used some heavyweight KPL in there, but you can still hear a little bit of a click. I'll put it up near the mic. First click was the lock disengaging. Second click was the blade closing. Here is the ST110 for comparison. You can see that we have a larger knife with the ST110 for sure, and it's definitely heavier at about 7 ounces. No weight relieving on this one. Let's see if there's weight relieving on this guy. I didn't take a look. Nope. So they kept it light. Pretty thick liners, pretty strong. But for the money, you don't get that extra skeletonizing and millwork on the liners. Let's face it. If you did, that'd be a huge surprise. Up against the Benchmade Griptilian, we have just about exactly the same overall length. I would say it's the ST110 is a little longer in the blade and a little longer overall. And speaking of the blade, yeah, a little bit longer in the blade than the Griptilian. How does it stack up against the Rat 1? Rat 1 is longer, for sure. Longer overall, half an inch maybe. But Rat 1 also feels a little bit heavier. This is, you know, at 4+ ounces, not bad. And considering you're getting a 3 3/4 inch blade, ergos are good. Reverse grip, good. You got a built-in thumb ramp there, nice and comfortable. The handle at 0.57 is really not too bad. A lot of us do like our thin-handled knives because they carry so well. However, you lose that grip, that bonding to your hand that you get with a slightly thicker handle. And I've got knives of all sorts, so you know, I like them both. I like the thin-handled knives, and I'd like the ones that fill your hand a little more. So that is the Sitivien ST110 drop point. Oh yeah, D2. You might have seen that. Is that like a negative? I don't know. I mean, I've got an over $200 fixed blade from Microtech, the crosshair that was done in D2 back, I don't know, it's like a 2008, something like that. Maybe a little younger than that. So, you know, for Microtech to use the steel properly heat treated, etc., you're going to have a very durable, usable steel. So, I'm not going to be a steel snob, especially, I don't think you're going to get much more than D2 at the price point of $27-ish. I recommend the knife. You need a good EDC and don't want to spend a lot. This one checks a lot of boxes. You need the heavier weight one, you can go with the ST115. That's kind of a beast. This is a little more reasonable. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This Old Sword, signing out.